Y'all know what time it is. It's the one and only RDOTT with the infamous COOKOFF. And this is the Rich Already podcast, man. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, they rich. Already. We rich, they rich, stay rich, stay rich. Already. Get rich, stay rich, be rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Already. We rich, they rich, stay rich, stay rich. Already. Get rich, stay rich, be rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich.
Yes, you're now rocking with the best. I'm COOKOFF,
And it's RDOTT
and you now tuned into Rich Already podcast. Now, today's bullet points we're going to get to real quick is about black men accepted in society, you know? And also, what's the other bullet point we get into today?
Do women have power? And if so, how much power do they have? You know?
Right, so
as far as that concerned, we're gonna jump into those in a very few. Just to give a back brief, last week we did our episode on Halloween and you know the backdrop on that. You know, shout out to those who did their thing over the last weekend and celebrated Halloween, Hallows Eve, the Day of the Dead, whatever you want to call it. You know, much respect and power to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I know you said you wanted to talk about some current events or something real quick.
Yeah, basically I want to talk about a few current events that might be hot topics.
Right.
Or what is it? Thornton, Colorado, right?
Thornton, Colorado? What's that?
This guy opened fire on Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
In Colorado?
Yeah,
Wow. Dang.
he killed 3 people, 1 cashier.
What?
Yeah.
For what? Why did he do it?
He said he was having a bad day.
He was having a bad day, so he just went in there and shot it up.
Pretty much.
Wow. You know, and speaking of shooting, you know, you just had that little shooting, I don't know, like
In Vegas?
Nah, a few days ago, I guess, in New York, in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, that wasn't a shooting, that was with the truck.
With the truck?
Yeah, he ran into a bunch of people on a bike that's down there, not too far from the World Trade Center by BMCC. Yeah. So he ran into them, and then I believe it was like maybe 8 killed, 12 injured, something like that.
For real?
Yeah. So with him, his act is a terroristic act. With their acts, you know, the mass shooting is not the same. It's not equated. You know?
I know they said the dude in New York who you just said did the little drive to crash or whatever you want to call it. I saw something that said that when he was in the hospital, he had requested to display the ISIS flag or something. So that's why I think they
Oh really?
yeah, they doing that as a terroristic threat or whatever. You know, terroristic.
So now he's down with ISIS, huh?
Yeah, you know how they always put their spin on it and then flip on it. You know what I'm saying? So
the guy from Colorado, he said something about to the fact that, you know, he got tired of his job, so he cursed the supervisor out and left and said, "Hey, let's go to Walmart." You know what I'm saying?
wow.
And shoot up some people. That's crazy, man.
Fuck it, right? Fuck it. Let's just go to Walmart and shoot some motherfuckers up and let it do what it do, man. Damn.
And then also to talk about Halloween, that's that whole clip went viral on social media with your girl, Whitney Williams. You know?
Looking like a horrible statue.
Oh man.
She was looking like a real dude.
She looked like she was gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
That was scary. That was scary. For real.
Oh man.
That's crazy, man.
Some people say it was scary, some people say it was funny.
Yeah, it was both.
Yeah, right.
It was scary in a humorous way.
They making jokes about it. They putting soundtracks in the back.
Yo,
like,
She did herself in with that one. She should have known that was gonna come, but hey, I guess I don't know what she was thinking. She should have known.
Was the crown too heavy on her head, or what was it?
I don't
The
know.
costume was too heavy or something. What's going on, man? That shit was hilarious. Her eyes popped out her head and she just collapsed. Whoop.
She had something going on. Something was going on with her that time. It could have been the crown. It could have been the crown on her head.
It could have been the coke. Who knows? Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. For real.
But it might have been maybe she'll drink water. You gotta stay hydrated, man.
Maybe them lights and cameras on her and that costume was hot. So, she passed out. Boom.
Floodlights got to her. They gave her a migraine.
Down go Lady Liberty.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Down go Lady Liberty. For real, right? Man.
Then I seen the clip maybe 2-3 days after that. She was at home and she told, thanks for the support. Thanks for the, people tweeting me and stuff like that. She sitting up there with a big thing of Pedialyte. So she must have been dehydrated.
Dehydrated for sure.
I thought Pedialyte was only for kids, man. I didn't know. Anybody could drink it. Oh, okay.
Pedialyte too, but it's mostly given for kids.
For babies.
Yeah.
Anybody it's good for the baby, then it should be good for adults, right?
Yeah. Electrolytes and stuff in it. So yeah, man, it's shit.
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. It does. It does, man.
So, getting into the first bullet point. What's your take on it as far as men or black men, specifically rather, being appreciated in today's society?
Being appreciated in today's society. Shit, man, black men being appreciated in today's society, I think is hard. I think black men got it hard, with all the police brutality and the killings of black men getting shot and killed by the officers. I don't think black men are accepted as much as they want to be, and those who are of a certain wealth, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to be accepted because of their wealth and their stage of class that they're in, you know what I'm saying? And even then, some of them who are up there in stature as far as wealth, some of them is not accepted as you may think or appear to be, you know what I'm saying? I think it depends on you. As far as those who's up there in higher stature or higher stage of class or whatever, I think it depends on
what their influence. Tax bracket.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The black men who are that, in a higher tax bracket that is accepted, I think, if they are accepted the way they are, it's because of the impact they may have on the culture or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, those in poverty or middle class or whatever, I don't think black men are accepted like they should be. I don't think, black men ever was, even back, from slavery to segregation.
Since day one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We fought for all this stuff and stood for all of this, you know what I'm saying? And I commend it, I appreciate it, because it gave us certain rights and equality to, where we at now and stuff, but it's still hard for us, you know what I'm saying? It's still hard for us.
Every day is a struggle, every day is a fight. We have to fight for those little bit of rights that we do have.
Yeah, you say you got black men who are educated, they got degrees, and they in their field of study, you know what I'm saying? And they not working in their field of study, so it's they not accepted, or they gotta work their way up the ladder or start from the bottom to get, but you legitimately freaking, you know what I'm saying, legitimately qualified to do what you do.
So that comes into, I know we was talking about it earlier. So what's the rules? Everybody want to know what's the rules. What's the rule? Yeah, exactly. A lot lot of people say there aren't no rules for black men to be accepted in society because we're against all laws. The odds is against us.
Yeah, it is against us. I mean, you know, of course, we the most powerful culture, and especially as men, you know, if black men was accepted the way we needed to be accepted, you know, a lot of things would be different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit would be different. A lot of things would go a different way. Like people will say, well, you had a black man in the presidency, so y'all gotta be accepted. But not necessarily, because a lot of stereotypes are being pushed on black men, like, you know, homosexuality and other things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are we being accepted? Because or why should we think that black men are accepted like they should be, or because we had a black president? That don't mean nothing.
You know, a lot of people use that as a scapegoat. Well, you had a black president, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even though he was black and he was a president, don't mean that anything got answered for us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, so I mean, like it's an everyday struggle. You know what I'm saying? You get judged. Black men get judged by their demeanor, depending on what environment they're in, what atmosphere they're in, and what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this well, not in this generation, but in today's society, you got a lot of people, a lot of black men who, you know, growing their hair and dreads. Even I'm doing it, and it's like you would get looked at as a thug or a certain stereotype, but you may be more educated than the next person, you know what I'm saying?
Caucasian CEO somewhere. So,
you know what I'm saying? But because of how your hair look, or how your face look, or how you may be dressed at a certain point in time, you labeled and stereotyped as this, that, and the third. Like, come on. So that, you know, that speaks for itself right there.
All right. So what if you see a Caucasian guy tatted up or something like that? Do you think he'd get stereotyped?
I mean, in some cases, possibly, depending on
possibility.
Yeah, depending on, like I said, depending on the environment and atmosphere. And then I've seen Caucasian or white people tatted up and hold managerial positions, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, what difference does it make?
So a lot of people ask all the time, like I said before, what's the rules? What's the rules? So there basically aren't any rules.
No,
because
there aren't any rules.
Anytime you try to fit into the dominant society or white America,
they say a black man, or you know, some may say a black man, to be accepted, you go to school, you should look clean cut, you know, shaved, and this, that, and the third. Okay, you can do all of that and still not get the same treatment as a Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's a lot of educated black men that's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of skillful black men that's out there. But yet, you know, it's hard for us when we go in the banks to try to get a business loan or whatever. It's hard. It's very hard.
Whether it's for a business, whether it's for
anything,
a house,
it's hard.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's very hard. And even when we are trying to start our own endeavors and be our own bosses and stuff like that, we're still given a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Because and I say that as far as a hard time, and that comes on both sides, like within our own culture and with, you know, the Caucasian race. Like when the black man trying to start their own joint, it's like, oh, it's very doubtful. It's a lot of doubt in it. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a lot of doubt. Like
it's a lot of doubt. Like, you know, not enough support. Rather, you know what I'm saying? Not enough support as far as a black within our own culture or whatever. Sometimes it's like, within our own culture, sometimes it's like, it's not being enough, it's not supported enough. You know what I'm saying? You might have people who know what's going on and what you're trying
gravitate
to
do. To it here and there a little bit,
but they ain't really supporting it or spread the word out to help your business grow or whatever the case, or coming to you. They talk like I hear a lot, like people would talk about a black man trying to build up his company or whatever, but yet within your own black culture, they still go out to other cultures and buy and support them before they come and support you. Yeah. And then when
that's gotta be like a more of a self-hate type of thing.
Yeah, but see, when that happens too, then that gives the Caucasian race or the white race to say, well, shit, why should we support y'all and do the same thing? Your own people ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's looked at like that, and it's like, yo, where's the support? Is yeah,
where's the support? Where's the love?
Where's the love? Yeah, it is not. It is not. Pretty much, So yeah, it makes it hard, and then for some, it may become discouraging. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it is, but that's what I can keep going back to as far as like what's the rules. Like when I was watching one of the DVDs, they were talking about what's the rules for the black man to be accepted into the dominant society, and we was like, okay, you from when slavery ended, then you go into all right, now you gotta fight for these different wars and stuff. Because now you don't need us, or now you're trying to unionize the jobs and so forth and so on. So then when you come to that potential or that aspect where you building your black economic wealth, like the certain parts of LA and the Tulsa, Oklahomas, and the Renaissance era and Harlem, so forth and so on, when you're showing you don't need the dominant society, what happened? They come and try to find a way to destroy that. You know what I'm saying? So then you forced into going to the Walmarts or the Targets and these various places instead of supporting your own. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about destroying it.
Yeah. Trying to destroy it before they help build it up.
And then when you try to get a job, okay, well you don't have enough education. Then you come back 2-3 years later,
you overqualified.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you can't win for losing. You know what I'm saying? You go and do what you need to do, and
how can you be
overqualified? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then now too, it's a certain amount. It's the statistics. Like it's a certain amount of African Americans that can be hired, or a certain amount of males, a certain amount of females. Like, listen, if you can get the job done, then you can get the job done. It shouldn't be, I gotta fill this quota and fill that quota. And a lot of times that becomes discouraging, and people don't, it ain't there.
Then they switch it and say, y'all have affirmative action. And then, okay, you say we have affirmative action, but affirmative action was never for blacks in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was actually for domestic Caucasian women, domesticated Caucasian women. You know what I'm saying? Like you have your like that TV show Leave It to Beaver. So women were always supposed to be domesticated at one point, and the men going out there and do the factory jobs and the labor jobs and stuff like that, until they felt like, let us come in there and we could do what y'all do, or we could work and do that type of job that y'all do. So then they threw something out there as affirmative action for them. Yeah. But later on, through the decades, through the years, they try to twist it and say, affirmative action is for a minority. Okay, that's cool. But if we black and you born and raised here, you don't really identify with minorities. Minorities are people from African descent that don't, want to say, they black or African.
I think Facebook is hating against our little discussion we have in here.
Oh yeah, why is that?
I'm trying to go live and Joint keep, saying it's not able to publish. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's been able to publish any other time.
Any other time. When you talk about touchy stuff.
Touchy subjects, touchy topics, they don't want to hear it. You know? But yeah, there you go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Knocking you off, right?
All right. want this to go out they don't want it to go out to the public.
Oh man, I hear that. That's crazy. But truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Facts is facts. So.
And it's still gonna spread regardless. But yeah, man, like, yeah, black men, man, it's really hard for those who just tuning in on Blog Talk Radio. We're talking about is black men accepted in society, and also do women have power, and if so, how much? You know, if you want to call in, and whether male or female, you want to call in and give your spin or your thoughts and comments on it, you can hit us up, 347-989-8448. It's 347-989-8448, you know.
Right, so then when you go and try to gain some type of employment, and they tell you you're too overqualified, then that's a slap in the face right there. Because I know a lot of people who go to job interviews and they kind of nervous anyway, because they want the job for whatever situation they got going on in their life. But then to hear, well, we looked at your resume and everything, you're overqualified. Like, how can you be overqualified for a position? You know what I'm saying?
If
you told me to gain some type of
exactly, and I don't see how, like you just stated, I don't see how you can be overqualified for a position. If I'm applying for this position and you see I'm overqualified, then find me another position within your company that fits my goddamn resume. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple. It's that simple. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to give us that opportunity and shine and do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, are you for real?
Right. So like I said, once you start building,
I really don't understand that shit about being overqualified. How can you be overqualified for something?
Yeah. But then when you start building and trying to create your own, there's always something in the fold where they're trying to snatch it from you somehow, man. You know,
discourage you. You know.
So now you're back against the wall. So now you gotta somehow find a different way of means. You know what I'm saying, to provide for your family.
Right.
You know what I mean? Definitely. So a lot of times you don't want to go and do illegal things. You know what I'm saying, or take illegal actions. But
sometimes that's what all you forced to doing. You know what I'm saying?
Forcing our hand.
Yeah, you forced to doing. What makes it harder for us to fit in and be accepted within society in this nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You know, so I don't think black men are ever going to be accepted the way they need to be accepted. I think we're accepted to a certain degree of what they want us to be accepted to. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's it. You know, and even I mean, you got people out there you got celebrities and people in the forefront that's in these positions that think they're accepted, but really they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not accepted. Like look at with the whole Kaepernick and kneeling situation, the whole NFL thing. Like you had the owner, I believe, from the Houston Texans say what he said about his players.
Yeah, his players are inmates or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? And half of your team is fucking black. So, or maybe more than half of your team is fucking black. So I could
and it's crazy because the Caucasian players, they didn't get offended by nothing.
Not at all.
That, you know?
Not at all. So, and they not. Because they're in that in crowd. They're fitting in within that society.
Right.
Maybe some of them might understood and felt bad for their fellow African American teammates, but at the same time, it don't have that effect on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's
in the back of their mind, wow, I'm glad we don't have to go through that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's a struggle for us, regardless where we at and what we doing within our life. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people, man, that think they accept it. When you talk football, you got Ray Lewis. He's up there and shit. He probably feel like he accepted, and you know what I'm saying? As a black man,
he's back to that guy.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, he may think that he's accepted, because of what he's saying, what he doing, what he's accomplished, you know, from beating the murder trial to winning Super Bowls and, you know, and being a part of the team organization and all that. So yeah, he may feel like,
So he feel like he accepted.
he may feel like, yeah, he may feel like he in, but really, when you looking from the outside in, you looking at him and all the stuff that he's doing in his present time, and you like, come on, how are you really representing us? Like, you know what I'm saying? The things you're saying and doing is how you representing us. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay-Z, for instance, like, you know, they had reached out, the NFL had reached out to him to do the Super Bowl halftime. He turned it down in respect of what Kaepernick is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that, I mean, he
did
stands
he?
for something, yeah.
Well, Beyonce did it a couple of years
But
ago.
that was before all of this was happening. Yeah, so I mean, it's different. It's a different effect.
It's not like he needs the money. It's just the principle. He don't want to do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, he's up there in that stature to where he know that he has the money and the wealth of, you know, where he's at.
The fame.
But, yeah, and the fame. So, I don't know if he may feel if he's accepted or not, but the culture, our culture, it feels like he may be, you know,
Like he made it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But in the back of his mind, he feel like he made it too. But he know deep down he's not really accepted. That's why he came out with some of the material he put out on 444.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely. So, I mean, yeah, man, like, you just gotta, I think, man, it's to each his own. You gotta just go, if you're a black man in society, man, you gotta find your ways and curves.
Find
and
your
your
way,
lane.
find your niche.
Yeah, and just do your thing and focus on that and not try to get discouraged or held back. And even when obstacles are thrown to try to snatch it, just keep pushing through because
Or worrying about being accepted.
pretty much don't worry about being accepted because you're really not gonna be accepted the way you want to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to say that, but you gotta play a game. You gotta play that game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play that game with people. So,
And that's what he doing, playing the game.
yeah, I'm not saying him, but I'm
Oh,
just
you
saying
talking about in general?
in general, you
Oh.
gotta play that. You gotta play that game. You know what I'm saying? To fit in, you gotta rub shoulders with some of these white CEOs or whoever, just to get to where you want to get. You know what I'm
Start
saying?
networking.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just like that. But always, while you're doing that, always understand it's because you may be networking or fitting in with a certain crowd of the white race. Don't feel like you're in there. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm good. I done made it. They let me into their little thing. So
You're gonna get used somehow, some way.
definitely,
You know?
definitely. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
even now, if you fast forward to the climate of what's going on with a lot of celebrities, maybe rappers, you know, movie entertainers or sports athletes, it's like a lot of times it's compromising too. Like now, if you come out and say, "Oh, you gay or something," you getting book deals, you getting TV shows and commercials and everything else, movies. I mean, that's crazy. And in the past 5 years or so, it's been an influx of brothers coming out saying all this and that. The next thing you know, they just winning. TV shows, movies, this, that, and the third. You know, clothing line. So, I mean, is that the only way you're gonna be accepted, man? If you compromise yourself morally, or
You know
what? You know?
Even to get something like, you know, as far as you're saying, movies, even to get certain roles and acts, you gotta do this or do that, like, in order to be, or make it bigger.
Certain endorsements and what have
you
you.
know, and to make it bigger in your career field, just to make it through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bullshit.
Prime example, look what they doing with Cam. They got that man going through the ringer, man, for no reason. Every time you turn around, it's always something about him.
Yeah.
All it trickled down from what he said to that news reporter. Like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was a simple question.
And that,
You know,
those are,
Mark.
yeah, if you take certain athletes, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got some of the biggest black athletes who are going through going through this, going or been in situations to show that we're not accepted regardless of what we think or what we see, or you know what I'm saying, or how far we trying to make it. Like you said, we can. Every time you turn around, it's something they trying to bring something up to. You know, first it was him ripping talking about he's Superman, the whole rip the joint thing. You know what I'm saying? That was a problem. He made the comment that he did about with the female. That's a problem.
And
you know
turn around, like now all of a sudden she's on temporary. No, she's on a vacation now, allegedly.
Come on, man.
You know
That's crazy. And then you got that. Then you got, you know what I'm saying? You got the factor that LeBron James, he had his house painted. You know what I'm saying? Back last year, talking about a nigger or something on his house.
Yeah, during the playoffs. Yeah,
like so that lets you know you're not accepted. You're never accepted, no matter how far you may make it. That you, as a black man, you're
with that
never
right there,
accepted.
that was real funny because it was funny, but it was funny because he said this is the most he experienced in his life. Like, where you been your whole life, man?
I mean, that's true, but everybody comes from different walks of life. Whether you know, even if you are black,
man. It's a condition.
It is a condition, but some people are may not go through some of these hardships growing up as other black people or black men in certain environments and cities and states. You know what I'm saying? He might not have been accustomed like us. Like you said, you know, you told me a time when we was getting on the bus in high school and the police pulled you off the bus out of everybody that fucking was hopping the back of the bus and said what they said to you. You know what I'm saying? He might have not experienced no shit like that growing up. And, you know what I'm saying? So he might
don't necessarily gotta experience certain things, but you could be impressed to it by it being in your environment.
Yeah, but that's
not
what I'm
from
saying.
the suburb.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
He from Akron, but still, I'm just saying, like, not to say that him being from Akron and him saying like, oh, that might be the most hatred he ever got displayed towards him. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily
since him being LeBron James, the basketball superstar,
or
just in general.
In general, it can be in
NBA.
general. It can be in general, even before an NBA. He might have seen it or heard about it with others within his community and stuff. But for him, it might have been the most. That, you know what I'm saying? For him, at that time, it might have been the most he might have encountered.
I still find that hard to believe.
And if he say, and even then, if you listen to the choice of words, this is the most hatred that I've encountered. It's so necessarily.
He
it's not
experienced
saying
it before.
he's experienced it, but this had going this far, spraying nigga on my house, like yo, that is a OD violation. You know what I'm saying?
You might be the best basketball player in the world, but you're still a nigga.
Still a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man, stop it.
Man.
Yeah, he said this is the most. Like, yo, where you been?
Yeah, so it's not like it's not necessarily saying like, no, I never experienced no hatred or racism or whatever in my life. But this, for me, personally, this up close and personal, yeah, this is the most shit that I've experienced. Like, damn, like, this is fucked up.
What makes it worse is that when you got your family there, your wife and your kids, so fuck you and your whole family, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's basically whoever did it, that's what they saying.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy though, because you have no security and nothing on ground though. You know what I mean?
Oh, some people, I mean, shit happens.
Some people
man.
do, some people don't.
Yeah, shit happens, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people know how to get around security or something. Who knows? You know? Like, so, I think
you never gonna see Buy Cracker on Dirk Lewinsky house or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash or somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on. So, like you said, once again, you're not accepted, man.
You're not exempt no matter whatever, you know, heights or stature you are as far as success, you know, how successful you might have made it. You're not exempt. You're not exempt at all.
Prime example, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They try to crucify him, man.
Yeah.
Talking about sodomy and two different occasions, two different accounts,
if we talking about that, we can go through a list of fucking, black men who's in a higher tax bracket. That you got Bill Cosby, like you said, you got LeBron, you got Michael Jackson.
Nah, Bill Cosby don't count.
Why not?
Cause for what he count for?
I mean, he's a black man from Philly.
Yeah, but all of that stuff, them allegations and stuff, that was something he did on his own. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't feel good? You got a headache? Alright, let me give you these drugs. It might make you better. You know what I mean? They didn't have to take it, but they did. But 30 years later, I see what you're saying, but I'm kind of biased on it. 30 years later, y'all bring this up. Y'all could have brought it up 20 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. No, wait, 30 years later. So it holds no weight, but it's just the principle where I see what you're saying, where you're in a different tax bracket. You still under that scope, that target.
Always, always. It ain't never off you, man. So, and then it makes it hard because it's like, we gotta watch what we do, watch what we say, how we act. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. And then it might not even be it might not even be that severe, but it's taken out of context and blown up. Boom, right there, bright lights on every news station, every radio, avenue,
social media.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But when you go to the white race, it ain't that. Boom, it ain't out there like that. It ain't everywhere. It ain't talked about and yada yada. That's it. Oh, it's spoken about maybe a day or two, then it's gone.
Some stuff come out and then it's swept under the carpet.
Yeah.
With the what is his name? Weinstein situation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, come on. It's talked about.
But how his situation happened and it come out. Now you got David Hoffman and all these different people I'm talking about. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
He talking about what he do? He fell on some man or something.
A 14-year-old boy back in the day.
Now why y'all coming out with all of this stuff now? But these are people that's accepted in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Because of money or status quo. Which I don't know.
And with Kevin Spacey, he said, quote unquote, I don't know if I did that, but if I did, yada yada yada, and he apologized and yada. But now he decides to come out as a gay man and live his life as a gay man. And now everything is done. No more talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. No more talk about it. It's over with.
Your boy Charlie Sheen. Haven't heard nothing from him in a while.
No,
and he came out talking about
HIV
and still putting out fires, still taking them out. At a brothel in New York.
Still and all.
You know what happened?
Niggas don't care. Niggas don't care.
So you get a pass for that.
For them,
give it somebody black. It would have been a rap.
Yeah.
That's attempted murder.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But nobody's saying that. That man should have been arrested a long time ago.
A long time ago. But so that goes to show that right there, man. So it's hard, man. It's hard for us. And it's gonna be hard for us for a while until we come together, I guess, or stand for more and keep, but a lot of people is, do what they do. They have their thoughts and opinions on stuff, and they choose to follow and support certain things. To each his own. You can't knock nobody for what they want to follow or what they don't follow. So, I mean, it is what it is as far as that,
It is what it is.
If you feel if you're a black man out there and you feel like you're accepted, and you think that you're accepted, no matter regardless of the success you have or where you at in life, then you know what? More power to you, man.
Nah, you do got them point thanks to motherfuckers that try to distance themselves from everything black. You know what I'm saying? They want to go into the social clubs and country clubs and stuff like that. Wear your polo shirt with your sweater tied around your neck like Carlton for Fresh Prince. That's perfect. That's a perfect description right there. Yeah, Carlton from Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers out there that act like that. That put you in the mind that they think or forgot where they come from. You know what I'm saying? And that's something you're never supposed to do. You're always supposed to humble yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Especially you come from poverty conditions, you come from humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when they get into that different tax bracket, sometimes they look back and don't want to help.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people say, why should they? Or, are they in a position to help or should they? Which one? Like Bill Cosby, as much as he taught, college this and education, this and this and that, when I think about it, there's a lot of people that was on his show that turned into stars.
Yeah.
But other than that, what did he really do to put other comedians on?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could have been passing the torch to your DLs, to your whoever. You know what I'm saying? Your Cedric the Entertainers, this person, that person, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I said fuck Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, I don't really. When you say it like that, I mean, I don't really see too many. You know what I'm saying? That still plays out in a lot of. I don't see too many comedians or whatever. Even I'm not gonna say actors, but as far as comedians, like I don't see too many black comedians do that now. You know what I'm saying?
Passing the torch.
Yeah, with towards each other or whatever. I mean, now more so comedians
some do it. Like
they
for
have their
example,
group, they have their own little team and group. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Hart, he got his own little slew and circle of comedians that he go on tour with, and he let them boom get their shine before he come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they may have their own little tapes, DVDs, and shit like that. But it ain't. I mean, in that case, I guess if that's a form of passing the torch, then okay, I understand that. But the only person I can really think of as far as a comedian / actor is Eddie Murphy. Like he done had, especially with in the movie and the acting field, like you done seen numerous of people in all of his movies. You know what I'm saying? In all of his movies, like from all of them. From Coming to America to 48 Hours to all of them. You know what I'm saying? To Nutty Professor to
like what? 48 Hours. Who was in that?
I mean, I don't know, but I can't think of nobody right now off the head, but I'm pretty sure it was somebody in there.
Tisha
You know what I'm
Campbell.
saying? Possibly, you know what I'm saying?
She was in that.
Yeah.
Way before Martin came out.
See, so that could have been one of her first starts, even if it was a short role. That could have been, you know what I'm saying, one of her first starts. Like, yeah, man, like stuff like that. Another person who might have done it really is Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Oh, as far as bringing other comedians.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And letting them get their shine and they
They big now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
John
Like
Curry.
Yeah.
Kim Cole.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx, you know what I'm saying? His brothers. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, that was their platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that might have been the biggest thing as far as in the comic world, so far as them passing the torch.
Passing the torch and paying it forward, and it was dead, you know what I'm saying? It was dead, man. So,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Supposed to help each other out.
It should be like that, Yeah, it should be like that, because especially when you're a person who came from the impoverished conditions, you know what I'm saying? That came from the hood. Them niggas is from, I think, Wayne, I think they from Brooklyn, I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Brooklyn, Harlem, all over. It's like
so it's like, so they came from there, you know what I'm saying? Even Eddie, they from the struggle too, you know what I'm saying?
Who?
Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy.
I thought you was talking about Eddie Griffin.
Nah, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, rest in peace or whatever, but yeah, they came, but yeah, Eddie Murphy, he had a lot of people who made it big in a lot of his movies, man. A lot of them. A hell of a lot of them. So and even them, Keenan Ivory Wayans, the Eddie Murphys, I'm pretty sure they know they're not accepted. But they did what they had to do, to get what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They rubbed shoulders with who they needed to rub elbows and shoulders with, and they did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's what's up.
Yeah, but then what happened? Later down the line, allegedly they talking about Eddie Murphy been with Johnny Gill. You see what I'm saying? So once again, it goes back to the bullshit. You know what I mean? Where you trying to throw the person under the bus because of their stature, and you know what I'm saying, or their or what their charisma or whatever they had that, you know, took them to that next level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always something where somebody trying to put something in between to say that a person compromised themselves somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. Just like, may she rest in power, Dr. Frances Cress Weston, she said it's a systemic thing for racism with us, especially all over the world, but especially here in America. She said every day, every hour, every second of your life, you live and breathe racism, which you do. And you sense it. You go to the store, it could be a Caucasian cashier, but you just sense it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she might not have no ill will against you at that moment, but as a whole, I'm pretty sure in the household they've said nigga this and nigga that plenty of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The gatherings, your holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you deal with it every day of your life.
Every day, that's true.
You get pulled over. That's called racial profiling in New York, which they keep talking about stop and frisk. To me, I think that rule always been there because we always got stopped and frisk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just trying to find a name to identify it now.
You fit the description of this.
Yeah.
You fit the description of that.
Before you fit the description, now it's stop and frisk. So they had to think of some type of name to come up with out of the blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To identify it. You know?
That's true. That's true. That's definitely true. For real, man. So yeah, man, just to, you know, touch bases on that. For those whom are listening, like talking about, you know, black men accepted in society, you know, and soon we about to get into the other bullet point of do women have power, and if so, how much? So, what's your feelings and thoughts on that? Do you think, you know, women that you're listening to or watching on Facebook Live or whatever,
Leave your comments or you can call us up. You know what I'm saying?
this is important. This is, you know, subjected to y'all. Do women have power? And if so, how much? You know what I'm saying?
Right, if you want to talk about it and call us up, the number is 347-989-8448. You know what I'm saying? So what I think about that, women have a lot of power. Women, I feel, have a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? In general, but
But some women may think they don't have.
A lot of women might think they don't. You know what I'm saying?
They don't realize. I agree with you. They don't realize how much power they really hold. You know what I'm saying? And I think that goes to, you know, how they may have been broken down, or their mind, or their confidence level, or you know what I'm saying. But I think that plays a factor. But yeah, like you were saying, you know, I'll let you finish talking about, you know what I'm saying, what you were saying on that.
Yeah. Now, you mean you gonna let me talk now? I'm good. I can go.
Yeah,
I can finish.
I thought I chimed in. I jumped in like that real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like prime example, we have a young lady. She been ostracizing the whole situation with her on American Airlines, Tamika Mallory. She usually on Facebook. She's an activist. She be out there in the marches and rallies with my son, you know, the rapper.
Yeah.
She has that young lady. She has a lot of power from what I see.
Yeah.
I mean, she's always, you know, doing something active. She's always in the forefront of different things, with different groups, women empowerment groups as well.
Yeah.
You know, and she got them climbing the board. But my thing is, with that's a lot of power. You got older women that does the same or similar thing as she does, but nobody's speaking out for the black men. You know what I'm saying? Not too often when you hear black women bigging up the black men. It's always black girl rock, girl power, this, that. All right, well, what about the man? What about us? We love y'all. We want some help. We, you know what I'm saying? Show us some love. We ain't getting it from nowhere else, so we should be able to get it from y'all. You know what I'm saying? But usually, sometimes that's not even the case. You gotta deal with arguments and fussing and complaints about this, that, and the third. So it's not enough that you deal with the social ills of society, leaving your house. It's to the point where you don't think about the man or the woman in your block or trying to do you some harm. It's all about police. It's always been that way, really, but it's even like that tenfold now. You got a caller now?
I'll jump in right quick. Caller, what's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Todd, I'm calling from Carolinas. I just tapped into your show. I don't even know what it's about, bro.
Oh, you just tapped in. You don't know what it's about?
Yeah, well, I read your advertisement, but I haven't heard any thing in reference to.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Well. Right. Basically, we was touching bases on one of our bullet points today is all black men in society accepted. You know. And the other bullet point we were talking about was does women have power, and if so, how much? So you could touch bases on one of those topics for us if you want.
Okay, well, we all have the right to be, from the education system in America, basically conditioned to be thrown out of ourselves. I don't think feminine from within the kingdom of heaven is between your left and right ear. So if you don't look to other people for acceptance, you just be who you are. I don't think there'll be an issue either way.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. But a lot of times, like we were saying earlier in the show, when you get a chance, you can go back and listen. I agree with you. Like if you ain't looking for acceptance and being who you are, then you're good. But a lot of times, people are looking for that black men are looking for that acceptance because they want to fit in with the white race or whatever and be to a certain level and
prominence,
success and stuff. So they looking to be accepted, and then when they're not accepted, it's a problem, or they feel discouraged, or they're wondering why. So like Cookoff was saying earlier, like what are, if any, what are the rules to being accepted in society as a black man, because it's hard for us, regardless of whatever we trying to do, it's hard for us. But I do agree with you, like if you ain't looking for the acceptance, and just being who you are, I think you can still soar to the heights that you want to soar to,
Indeed. It's just like fishing, bro. You never know what you're gonna catch if you don't throw that line in the water, but you gotta get out there to do it. So you emanate that energy that you are, and the ones that's looking for you as far as being a merchant, in business or whatever, they'll gravitate to you. You know what I mean?
Guaranteed,
They gravitate to you.
Guaranteed.
It ain't about appeasing anybody because, that's why I feel it's so important to have a knowledge of self.
Yeah, definitely.
If you know who your ancestors are and you know who you are,
definitely.
You're basically that vortex. You on your sovereign, you're on your sovereign land, so, it ain't about the powers that be, it's about you.
Right, but what you saying that, unfortunately a lot of us don't know that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's about having knowledge of self. It's about going outside of the box and just researching different things that pertain to us and our culture, our history. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the key, and just like you're saying, the family is basically waking up, but at the same time, we definitely need people that will share this light and this truth, because everybody's not going to accept it because it's brand new.
Definitely.
To a lot of people, because it's old information, but it's new to somebody who's never heard it before.
Definitely.
And it's challenging to get people to accept it, but again, if they choose to do the research, they'll find it true. how about the beginning of the chapter or the chapter before the chapter and, the information after? And that's what basically woke him up and said, no more. Because, he's seen himself in some of them people that,
exactly.
basically trapped off.
And he realized too he was being used, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, that's all you got. We ain't gonna hold you up. We appreciate your call, brother. What you say your name is again, Todd?
Yeah, you can call me Ock, man. It's cool. I really try not to use that corporation name. Another name, yes. So sometimes I say my name is Al. Sometimes,
Yeah, I know.
But you can call me one if you want to, because we are one.
Definitely.
Yeah,
we definitely appreciate your call, man. Keep on tuning in.
Yeah, you can go back on our page or whatever, or on YouTube and check some of the previous episodes if this is your first time tuning in. Definitely appreciate the call.
Indeed.
All right.
Cool. We are one.
All right, be cool.
Peace. Yeah. We appreciate that call and that message, you know what I'm saying, that you put out there. But yeah,
back to what he was saying, to touch bases on basically, man, it's a lot. It's hard, but it's a lot because a lot of people, they so conditioned into how everything is.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they don't want to read or learn different things and go outside the box, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we was talking about before. Everybody keep saying stay woke, but they using it like a little funny phrase or catchy phrase, but you're not really staying woke. Yeah, it's a trend now.
It's a trend,
What are you doing to stay woke? If you're saying it, what are you doing to stay woke? How are you woke? You know what I mean?
Who are you passing it on to? You know what I'm saying? Who you sharing your enlightenment with, knowledge yourself with,
I know me, from when I find information, like he said, it's already there, but you gotta look for it. Then when you find it, you so excited, you want to share it with other people. So if they choose to listen and they choose not to listen, I look at it like, hey, I did my part. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Because I got so excited that I found this new information that I never learned my whole life. I've been lied to with the, like you said, the education, this, that, and the third. So now I find this information now that I never heard. So it has to be some type of truth to it if y'all hid it from us this long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, man. That's very true. You gotta spread the word and start opening your mind. You know what I'm saying? Start opening your mind. Just take into consideration sometimes what people trying to put on to you and research it. It don't take no time to research something. The time that you on social media, Instagram, Facebook, the same amount of time you can spend a little bit out your day to research something to enlighten yourself and wake yourself up to certain truths. You know what I'm saying? For real.
It's like the time that, some of y'all women take to be on social media and tooting your ass in the air all the time. Advertising your ass and tooting it in the air, and every picture you see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go research, go find out who Queen Sheba is.
Speaking of which, that still relates to women having power. You know what I'm saying? That relates and transcends into women having power. You got women on Instagram trying to be Instagram models, shaking their ass, twerking, and that right there is some type of empowerment because it's showing other women that, I can get it the same way. I don't have to work as hard or be as educated or go and do this just to, you know what I'm saying? And that's an act of power in itself. Like all of that is an act of power. For me, like women, like I said, I agree with COOKOFF. Like women have a tremendous amount of power that they don't even know they possess at times. Like man. That 5-letter word, the power of the pussy, that right there is power in itself, but I mean, women have a lot more power than what they think, and if they used it for better things, you know what I'm saying, other than shaking their ass or trying to be the next stripper or, you know what I'm saying, or on IG and be the next this, that, and the third or whatever they aspire to be. Man, you know, y'all women, y'all fought for equal rights and this, that, and the third, and y'all still fighting for certain equalities and stuff, you know, but if y'all really used the same energy.
Wait, hold on. You do have women out there that compete to be a better stripper, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's their goal,
if
man.
you use the same energy, that you're using to do that, and you use it to generate that towards that power, knowledge of self and bettering yourself and helping pass on the knowledge to your fellow sisters and stuff. Like, come on, y'all will see how much more power than y'all have. I understand, you know, in some cases, y'all may not think y'all have the power because men got higher. A lot of men have higher positions, and some men look down on women for being in a certain light or
they might come against a man that might be a male chauvinist. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all feel like y'all don't have the power, but if y'all banded together more and showed each other more, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had, you know, the great Dr. Maya Angelou. She was putting it in her poems and stuff, you know what I'm saying? To show y'all how much power y'all have.
Yeah, phenomenal woman.
Self-appreciation and all of that. And some took into account, and I'm pretty sure in today's society, 9 out of 10 women now that's on these Instagrams and Instagram models and all of that, they'll read a Maya Angelou poem and can't really decipher the words, you know, and the code in it. You know what I'm saying? The understanding in it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's there. It's there, and y'all just gotta. I just think that y'all gotta, you know, dig a little bit deeper for that power. You know what I'm saying? Just
dig deep, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's different power that certain women possess in different ways. I mean, sometimes they might not be the brightest or, you know, the most educated, but they try to get to that level. Because you'll see a single female, like 2 or 3 kids, working and then still going to school or something like that to better herself. So a lot of times, that's multitasking. A lot of times, brothers don't, you know what I'm saying, have that intestinal fortitude to do something to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so that's strength and that's power right there.
Definitely.
So I do agree that women have power. Narrowing it down or specifying it to black women, they have a lot of power, but I don't feel that it's exercised in the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be more talks about, like, why you don't have a black man rock or something, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of prestige brothers in suits, or talking about how to be entrepreneurs, or talking about this, that, and the third, you know. You don't have that platform. And I don't think you ever will, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too much like right, it's too positive. Everything right now, in my opinion, is just fuzzy brain. That's what I call it. Keep your brain cloudy with all the foolishness that goes on.
But I think, like you said, with the whole black girl rocks thing, and, you know, I think that's those who have started that, you know, and support that. I think that's their way for the black women to get other black women or younger black women to say,
to build up their self-esteem.
Their self-esteem and self-confidence, and show like you can still be what you aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whether another male or female say or look down upon you or think that you may be beneath, that you can. So the Black Girl Rocks thing, I think it's pretty cool as far as, you know, what they're trying to do and their empowerment and their movement, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's an act of power too, showing how much power women have. Like, you gotta believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying? And if you, as a woman, you believe and you think you can do that and not fall victim to the social norms of things that's going on in society, that you can be that person on that platform to to inspire other women and show them that, you know, the black woman's power is exuberant. You know what I'm saying? Like it can shine and affect others.
Exuberant. Oh, you use a big word right there. Yeah, I use my dictionary for that. Stupendous. Exuberant. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. I like that.
Duper. You know, like good. Barney would say super duper.
So is the level of power measured from women?
I think it is. I think it is, in a sense. In a sense, I think the level of power is measured because, you know, just from starting out of, you know, of what they trying to be and you know, the equalities of being equal, being, you know,
What, liberated? They want to be liberated?
and accepted as men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I guess back in the day, women was more looked at or should have been looked as or was told they needed to be housewives. You know what I'm saying? Their
Domesticated.
Domesticated. Their position in life is to be a housewife and take care of the home. You know what I'm saying? And that I believe drew a lot of discouragement for women. You know what I'm saying? To think that they don't possess the power that a man has. So
To go out and work and
you
provide
know,
for the family themselves.
you know. So you should be a housewife and take care of the home. You should cook and clean and take care of the kids, and that's what you do, because that's what women do. You know what I'm saying? That's what a woman do, and a woman don't have no place doing the same things as a man. That's why, like in previous episodes that we done with relationships, I say, listen, I treat women equal. You know, you got fought for equal rights, so I'm gonna treat you equal. It's not to, you know, have a lower demeanor on y'all. But listen, if you want equal rights, you have equal rights. Then yeah, I know we got a caller. If you want equal rights and you have equal rights, then you know what I'm saying. Like, yo, I'm gonna treat you equal. You want to carry groceries? I'm gonna carry groceries. You know what I'm saying? You gonna clean the house? I'm gonna clean the house. It's a shared power. We're gonna take this call right quick. Caller, what's up? What's your name? Where you from? Where you calling from?
My name's David. I'm calling from Nashville. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. What's going on, David?
Yeah, my question, I felt the title on the show said, are black men accepted in society? And I just wanted to know, like, what did you mean by accepted?
Accepted towards the dominant society. Like I mentioned earlier, I said we always got to do something or harder or run faster or jump higher or something, and you still not accepted. You know what I mean?
Like for instance, COOKOFF said.
What do you mean by accepted? Like being liked?
Being not so much being liked, but being equal to other.
Or not even being equal, because we ain't never gonna be equal, but be treated fair.
Be treated okay.
Like
yeah,
when I say
term.
not being accepted, why is it that there's mass incarceration towards people that look like us? And then why is it I don't never hear my counterparts or Caucasian guys that, you know, I might know, I never heard of them getting pulled over by police. And if they did, it was something real brief. The outcome wasn't them spending a night or two in jail or their car getting searched and all of this, you know? So that's what I mean. That's just certain examples what I mean by not being accepted.
Okay, so when you bring up mass incarceration, that's a perfect example. What percentage of you think of the black men in prison are there because for example, they're in prison for a crime they didn't commit? Like, what percentage of them do you think it is?
Well, I haven't done the statistics on that per se, but if you've been incarcerated before, I don't care, maybe one night or 2 days or what have you, you will see that for every 10 black men in there, you'll see one Caucasian guy in there. But if you look around, you don't see no Indians, you don't see no Japanese, you don't see no Chinese in there. But they don't commit crimes or do anything either. And it don't necessarily have to be we creating or doing any crime. We could just be driving in our car trying to get home with no contraband or nothing on us, but for some reason we might get pulled over. You know?
Right, but the question is still, when someone, because I hear people throw out mass incarceration all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say when people say that, they're making it sound like we got a bunch of innocent black men being drugged into prison. So the question I'm trying to make clear is, what percentage of the people in prison do you think are there for crimes they didn't commit? Because that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. The issue is, did you commit a crime, yes or no? And if you did commit the crime, you got caught, then what's the problem? I don't see what's the problem.
No, you commit.
But a bunch of people that didn't commit the crimes that are in jail for, are innocent and are in jail for a crime they didn't commit. Now we got something to talk about. But I mean, let's just be real about it. I mean, you don't have to be a PhD. You can just go to every major city in America, and you can understand why there's a lot of black men in jail. It's pretty obvious. You got a lot of young black men who engage in drug dealing, gangbanging.
But you gotta understand why is that though. I understand what you're saying, but why? Like from what you just said, you got a lot of young black men incarcerated from crimes, certain crimes or gangbanging over. But why is that? Like we said earlier, or Cookoff said earlier, jobs. We can go to employment. You have black men who go to certain employment companies and go and try to get a job and then get denied. You don't have enough experience. They do what they gotta do, come back with the experience, and you're overqualified. Then what? Or you got dreads in your hair. Oh no, we don't. You may be qualified, but you have dreads in your hair, or you have tattoos on your skin. And oh no, that's not our policy. You have to do this, that, and the third, or you have to look this way. So what other options do these young black men have if we're not able to be gainfully employed to,
the right way without trying to get incarcerated to, provide for our families?
Okay, well that's a simple question.
Right.
Do you have a job?
Right, yeah.
Well, how did you get a job as a black man?
Because I have ambition, so I chose to dibble and dabble in different things legally, but I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say the whole ride I've been trying to do things right on the straight and narrow, because then I'll be lying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so now you've improved my point even more so. So you're not even somebody, like in your own words, you weren't perfect, but you still managed to get a job. I don't know, do you have children, for example? Like, do you have a family that you take care of?
Right, correct.
Okay, so you do those things. So now ask yourself this question. What separates you from another black man who doesn't have a job or has children and doesn't take care of them? What separates you two?
The choices that I choose to make. Everybody got choices. But
That's it.
Right, everybody got choices.
Right there.
Say what?
I mean, you just answered the dilemma right there. You just gave the answer. The choices people make in life is going to determine where you're going to end up being. And it doesn't matter what skin color you are. If you as a black man make smart choices, work hard, you learn how to manage your money, you're responsible, you take care of your children, your life's going to end up much better than, let's say, a brother who doesn't care about taking care of his kids, who doesn't actually want to learn.
That's not
necessarily true, because I think it also what also ties into that is mindset. Your mindset and how you think about things and stuff, because there's some who I'm pretty sure there's some black men or whatever who've tried to be in the position that Cookoff is in and couldn't make it, and then have no other options, or they may see their counterparts go out for the same position that they just went for and they got the job, but yet and then they're questioning themselves. Well, shit, what's different about me than this other person who just got this job that I just went for? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it may be cases where people see other people trying to do these things and it's not working out for them. So it's like, shit, my mindset is shit. Well, why should I try it? You know what I'm saying? Why should I try? I'm take the easy way out.
So you just answered it yourself. So if their mindset is wrong, and if they give up for whatever reason,
to be given to you.
Think that, yeah.
No, there's nothing supposed to be given to you. What we saying is that you're not accepted because everything is so much harder. You're making it so much harder. Like, nobody wakes up in the morning and say, oh, I feel like I'm going to step on the block and sell drugs. I'm pretty sure that person who was 14, 15, whatever age he started selling drugs, he probably worked in your Foot Locker. He probably packed bags in the grocery store or what have you. Or might have got arrested because he was black. He racial profiling. They pulled him over. He fit the description. Now he's spending the night in jail. Now he got something on his record. Now he going for employment. And they always ask for background checks, do they not? Now you gotta be truthful and say what you got arrested for. And they can say yay or nay whether they want to hire you right there on the spot. So a lot of times we don't put ourselves in a negative environment or negative situations to get incarcerated. We're not waving our hand every police car we see and say, hey, lock me up. I'm doing something wrong. Or I want to see how it feels. It's systemic. It's conditioned that way for us to be that way. And not like they say in the South, a trap. Usually in the South, they talk about grinding, right? But when you say trap, the trap is a broad and is a bigger spectrum than that because this is what we living in, a trap. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel safe every time I walk out my house and drive in the car. I don't feel safe riding down the road every time I see police. And I don't have, like I said, I probably could have my kids in the car with no contraband or anything on me. But for some reason, they might feel compelled to put me over because I'm black.
Well, of course.
It happens.
Okay, well, let's deal with that 2 points you brought up. This was a good point. Number one, when you talk about this idea of being conditioned, that's why I asked you directly yourself,
right.
How are you doing? Are you actually have a job? Are you actually responsible to take care of your family and doing what you got to do as a man, right?
Right.
So the question comes down to, you said it before, it's a mindset. It's not about conditioning, all that. The idea that your mind can be conditioned is saying that I'm so weakened as an individual that somebody else can change the way I think without putting a gun to my head. That's like, for example, for me, you're going to have to put a gun to my head to make me do something that's going to be self-destructive to me and my family. You're going to have to threaten my life to make me do that. There's no way I'm going to watch a television show or listen to music or listen to somebody or some sort of subtle, messaging that's going to make me act the way I act. I mean, that just comes down to who you are as a person, how you were raised, if your family taught you values. That's what it comes down to. And I'm sure you as a father take the time to teach your children what's right and wrong, how to be responsible, how to use wisdom, how to be successful in life. That's what it means to be a human being. And I don't understand where black people all of a sudden are saying, we're so weak mentally that people can subtly, I don't know what, the media, get us to make bad choices, and it's not our fault now, it's somebody else's fault. I mean, how does that sound to you? I mean,
well, it starts back from from past times. Yeah, we were forced into being mentally weak from the beginning of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to make it, but we're not going to date back to all of that. But you speaking of black men or some black men being mentally weakened, but in some conditions and somewhere out there, we were forced to be mentally weakened. So we were forced not to be as big or not to look, and think as prominent as a white male or whatever the case may be. Excuse me?
Are you mentally weak?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all, because but my reason for not the reason why I'm not mentally weak.
That doesn't automatically mean that you're mentally weak, that you can't make it, that you can't. No, it comes down to your brain.
You're absolutely right.
It's because you have character and you got strength, which I'm sure was passed down to you from your family and the people you grew up around. That's my point, man. This idea that because people have liked their family, nah, man. A lot of people fail in life because of their own choices. And a lot of people do well in life because of their own choices. That's why, for example, I travel around the country a lot. And I see so many broke white people, you wouldn't believe it. And you would think, well, they're white, they should be able to be successful, but they're not, because a lot of white people in this country make bad decisions. A lot of them are lazy, they get on drugs, like heroin and meth and all kind of crazy
True
stuff,
indeed.
and their lives are a mess, and they can't even get by.
Okay.
Now, at the same time, I see a lot of black people who are successful, who got businesses, who are doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers. You yourself said you have a job, you're able to take care of family. I'm sure you're doing well. You just told me you're not mentally weak. And so when it comes down to, my point is, it's the individual. This idea of people are a group and you judge people by a whole group is nonsense. Because just because you're black or I'm black doesn't mean we have anything in common. You may have a completely different mindset than me, and your mindset could separate you from another man. That's why I said to you.
No, but it's the it doesn't. It's the opportunities that's given.
You take care of your kids, though. That's my point.
It's the opportunities that's given too, though. Like you said, there's some white people out there who are very poor, but I'm pretty sure, like you said, yeah, they might have been given the opportunities, but we're not always as blacks given the same opportunities.
At the end of the day, like you just.
I mean, you live in America. You do realize that, right? By being in America, you have it better than most people in the world today.
I don't believe
you're
that.
part of the top 1% of the world. Most people on the planet today, 75% of the 7 billion people on the planet live off about $200 a month of income. That live in a standard of living that you would never find anybody in America with. I mean, you live in a country.
That's not true. I've seen people living in crack houses in Baltimore. So what are you saying? What do you mean by that? And living in conditions overseas. I've been in places overseas where the conditions equate or even worse.
In a third world country?
Say what?
You're telling me even the poorest person in America has it as bad as people in the third world do? You're telling me it's even remotely the same?
I've seen guys sleeping on the street everywhere, and pretty much any impoverished condition or city in America. I've been overseas and I've seen impoverished conditions out there. Do I think they worse than America? Yeah, but that don't mean that we any better than what their situation is either.
Of course you are. Listen, bro, let me give you an example. Let's use prison as an example, okay? Let's just compare and contrast American prison to everybody else's prison in the majority of the world. In American prison, you get 3 meals a day, you get a bed to sleep in, you get running water, access to showers, most places you get access to laundry, most prisons have vocational training, education training, you get recreation time, all that stuff, okay? Most prisons in the world, you know what happens in those prisons? Number one, you don't get a bed, you sleep on the floor in a 5x13 cell, usually with 10 or 15 other people. There's no toilet, there's a bucket in the corner. They don't feed you. The only food you get is what your family.
Okay, so overseas, let me ask you something. So are those prisons ran by corporations? Because here in America, there's a lot of corporations that's running prisons right now. And if you want to look that up, you can look that up.
And there's also prisons in other countries that are established as homes that makes them feel welcome. So when they get back out in that world, they know what to do. Here in America, it's a lot of times, yes, you have vocational training and stuff, but a lot of times you got this record, you're not given that opportunity
At all.
You're not given that. When you in American jail cells, yeah, you might have a jail cell with a cellmate and you got a cot in the bed, but you ain't. They're not in there to yeah, in a toilet, but they're not in there to come out of jail. They're not in there to where they come out of jail and given a second chance, really. The whole scheme behind it is knowing that or thinking that, okay, when I get out, there's a high possibility, a high percentage of a chance I'm gonna come right back out, because like he said, I have this on my record now. Mm-hmm. And am I gonna give it, is anybody, when I go out for these jobs or whatever, am I going to be given the opportunity to better myself no matter how bad I want to?
Right, okay, so let's be clear. When you commit a crime, you're not a victim. When you commit a crime, there's a consequence behind it. There's jail time, like you said.
But what if you don't commit a crime, like I mentioned earlier?
What do you mean if you don't commit a crime?
I just said it's been times where I know people, and even myself, where we don't have any contraband on us and get pulled over by police for whatever reason they feel like doing it. Your tags, everything can be up to date. It's profiling. That's what it's called. It's profiling. You feel like putting us over because we're black. Period. That's what it is. And when I say that, that's systemic within this nation. Yeah, it's prejudice and racism around the world, but we get the short end of the stick here. I've been outside, I've been to various places and countries, and guess what? My skin, I get treated like God. When I come back to America, you see the climate, how we've been treated. This is the only place in the world where you have slaves, where people are cutting babies out of women. Nowhere in the history of any type of slavery has anything been worse than what we faced and dealt with. So when you fast forward and talk about incarceration and stuff like that, you see these guys picking up garbage on the street. That's modern day slavery. Come on. Is it not?
First of all, historically, you just made a false statement. Historically,
how?
The slavery that black people faced here, that's not unique. That's happened everywhere, including in the Middle East today, where many Africans are enslaved to Arabs this very day, both in North Africa and in
what I said was, I don't think you heard me clearly. I said, in any degree around the world, slavery in this nation has been the worst, horrendous act ever to any type of slavery. You cannot compare it to the Holocaust. You can't compare it to anything else, period. What?
No, bro. You need to go study history, man.
Nah, you need to go study history. I study history. I'm speaking facts now, not my opinion. You can look it up. What is a fact? A fact is something that's actual, that can be seen or looked up, right?
Okay, let's test your facts. Have you studied anything about what slavery was like in the Roman Empire and what the Romans did to people in Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, Northern Africa, and what they did in the Middle East?
Yeah, I have.
The type of slavery that they did.
Yeah, I have. And is it comparison to slavery here?
It was worse than the slavery here.
Nah, it wasn't.
Oh my God, bro, you haven't.
You gotta do your research, brother. Well, anyway, you've been on the call long enough, man. We appreciate your call. Keep tuning in.
Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you're still listening or not, Dave in Nashville. We appreciate your call. You know, we like everybody comments.
Yeah, and opinions.
You know, you're all entitled to our own opinions. But as far as the whole incarceration thing, I'll give you a prime example, and I'll speak on, if you're listening still, I'll speak on a personal event that, where I have to wait a while to get a second chance to do, a certain type of job if I choose to do this. And, I've received a DUI some time back, right? In 2012, 2013. I was put on probation, and I had a vehicle lock that I had, a breathalyzer that attached to my vehicle that I had to blow in every time with the camera in my dashboard and everything, right? So this device started malfunctioning. Now, when you don't blow into it, it doesn't start your vehicle. I was with my son, and we were just coming from getting a haircut. The device started malfunctioning, right? So I start toying with it so I can get home. Boom. The next week later, I get a probation violation saying that I tampered with the device. I explained to them I had paperwork where I had to go get the device checked in every month and bring it to my probation officer. It said everything on the paperwork. The device started malfunctioning. They still put me in jail. I was in jail for freaking, it doesn't matter how long I was in jail, but I was in jail. Now, I don't drink anymore or anything like that. But I gotta wait 7 years for this to get off of my record, or for me to get a legitimate driving job if I wanted to do that. That's not
your record a long time.
How fair is that? Like, that's not, and I didn't do anything to this device for me to spend any time in jail. I was doing
violent act or anything like that.
Anything, you know what I'm saying? So to go back to what you're saying, no, we don't have all the same opportunities. We don't have all the same opportunities when it comes to incarceration. Like I just said, I gotta wait 5 to 7 years for me to even be considered, you know what I'm saying, for a driving job. And even when I do that, who's to say they're gonna, who's to say that they're gonna want to hire me because, or you know, to work. I had a DUI. Like, so no, it's not always the same. It's not always the same opportunities and the same treatment, the same fairness when it comes to things. So, that's just on that. But we definitely do appreciate your call, man. Like,
And then when you want to talk about history, do you know anything about the Moors? I mean, the Moors were founded and built Europe. In fact, Rome was the first area in Europe that they started. And then when there was Europeans that looked like Caucasians and white people today, they didn't even know how to live. They were living together with animals and catching hepatitis and syphilis and stuff like that. Until the Moors came and brought medicine and science to them and taught them how to separate and differentiate yourself. And you live in the house and your animals stay in the stable or in the barnyard. You know what I'm saying? That's a little brief tidbit history right there, man. I know my history. I read, man. Trust me.
So when we talk about black men as a group, there are some who choose to do certain things they do. There are some who don't choose to do what they do, but they're subjected to it because they're not given those chances and those opportunities. Yes, it all boils down to a mindset. Yes, we may have jobs and we may be successful in what we believe we're successful in, and as far as we are, but still in all, it doesn't mean that we're accepted or we're treated fairly now and even in the future. Like it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, my mindset to why I have what I have in my family and then install it in my children or whatever is because I know for myself, ain't nobody gonna tell me different. Like you said, ain't nobody gonna tell you different of what you can or cannot do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different. But still, that doesn't mean I didn't go through no obstacles or had to jump any hurdles. It wasn't always, like COOKOFF said, a straight and narrow road. Like you had to do what you had to do, whether you get caught or you don't get caught. And it's always gonna be hard for us as a group of black men because everything is not fair. Everything is not given or treated fairly for us. Point blank, period. That's exactly the point. You know what I'm saying? And like if you want to talk about people who make it, and for Dave, if you're still listening, you want to talk about people who make the right decisions and stuff like that, and it's not treated fairly or not accepted, quote unquote, into society. Like we said earlier, you have LeBron James, one of the biggest basketball players out there in today's society, but he get the words nigger wrote spray painted on his house. So how are we accept it?
Yeah.
That's a prime example. How are we accept it? So you can't say, oh, he was weak-minded. He was weak-minded and his decisions because he's very successful. But yet he get the displays of action shown towards him that say, fuck you.
Well,
fuck you too.
Look at the Kaepernick situation.
Yeah.
He started a whole thing now for the past, 14, 15 months where he have other people kneeling and other black players kneeling, and they know the specifics of what he was kneeling for, so they know what they're kneeling for. But Trump and the owners, billionaires, they want to twist it into something else. Yeah. Like they turn the blind eye because they know what it is. So if you're going to turn away from that, then how can you turn away from slavery? How can you turn away from the civil rights movement? How can you turn away from Jim Crow? You can't. It was existed and it's all systematic. That's what I mean. Systemic.
Yeah, for us to try to fail or not even be accepted or looked upon as equal. So I mean, yeah, man, like, yes, there are some white people out there who's living in poverty conditions and on drugs and everything, but
they still have white privilege at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. What some people might call trailer park trash, those might be considered some poor white people.
Yeah.
And middle class black eyes or the blacks that's in that higher tax bracket.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if they put on a certain tie, suit and tie, and clean themselves up, I can almost guarantee they'll get a bank loan faster than I would. You know what I'm saying? I can almost guarantee it.
Definitely.
So that's the what we spoke about in previous episodes. If you want to look at it, mass shooting / white privilege. Now, if you sit here, even like Chris Rock said, yeah, I'm rich, but I bet there's not a white man in the world want to take my place. You know what I'm saying? And why would he make a comment like that? You know what I mean? He's rich now. He's rich. He's up there. Movies, TV, this, that, and third. He is rich. And for him to make a comment like that, he knows the climate of how America is and how they treat black men. So that's why we pose the question, are black men accepted? But everybody's entitled to their opinion, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely is. You know.
Well, back to the women. So women do have a lot of power. I mean, a lot of things has been changed for women as far as sexual harassment and stuff like that on the jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times the rules get bent to accommodate the women, and the men kind of get, you know, stiffed on to the side. You got a lot of powerful women that's running CEOs and running businesses and big corporations and things of that nature. So yeah, to reiterate, I feel like women do have a lot of power, but I just don't feel like they exercise it as much as they should or can. You know?
That's true. And a prime example of that is if you socially, like going to clubs. Every club you see and things like that. Ladies in free. And that shows, no, you laugh, but it's true because it shows how much power women have. You know what I'm saying? Ladies in free. What's that going to draw? That's going to draw out the men. You know what I'm saying? That's going to draw the men to come out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as you got, and that's a example of how much power women have. Oh shit! If I make ladies free, shit, I know the fellas gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So that shows how much power it is. And
even something as simple as getting a haircut.
Yeah.
You want to do it for yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
But
you really doing it for to get looked at and noticed by a woman. You know? So yeah. I mean, women do have that power that, you know, they may not realize it in many ways. You know what I'm saying? So women, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say wake up or open your eyes, but you know, just you know, think deeper on that, and you know, think deeper and start realizing some of the ways that y'all can
at the smallest
power.
At the smallest form, a dude will get a haircut for self gratification, but then he really doing it just like you said, so he can get looked at women. But then, if a woman says no, no means no. You know what I'm saying? So that's power right there. If a woman say no, hey, you just going, you know, blue balls out, dry dick out. You just hurt it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta deal with it. Yeah.
That's true.
Now the tables is turned, and well, how often you come across it when a man, no, I'm good. And then you hear the man saying, oh, the woman raped me. He'll get laughed in his face, right? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of men may feel women have power because of certain ways they have it a little bit easy. Some men may say women have it easier in certain things. All they gotta do is, you know, wear a certain type of outfit or wear this to get what they want. Now, in some cases, should they have to revert to doing something like that to get what they want, or to, no, they don't. But it's a form of power. You know, it's just a form of power. They can hike up a skirt, open up a blouse, and show your cleavage, and oh shit, yeah, here you go, baby. Here, let's go out to eat. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a form of power. You know, a form of power that women have to, you know, get what they want. You know, and if it's like you said, cook off, if it's used in the right way, if the right energies is put towards it, then you know women can soar past a lot of these limitations that they may think they encounter and stuff. You know, so it's just knowing. I think for women to know how much power they have is knowing their self-worth. You know, knowing, having that self-esteem, a high self-esteem, having that high self of confidence, you know, and knowing what you possess and how to use those tools to possess it in the right form and fashion to get to where you want and how you want to be.
Yeah, it's just like some of the women that I think we touched bases on it before, that in the reality shows.
Yeah.
They may be attractive or powerful women, but the outcome of you know how they acting makes them look ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then fighting and being catty and all this little stupid
And what are they
stuff,
fighting
you know?
over at the end of the day? Dick. They're fighting over dick at the end of the day. Like, come on. Y'all better than that. You know what I'm saying? What woman needs to be fighting over dick? For what? You know, it makes no sense. But that's the power that y'all hold. And like I said, those might be some of the females that, you know, don't know their worth yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't realize how powerful they are.
Right.
And put themselves in those positions and then think that they're not being treated fairly or they're not being treated as equal as men or they're not seen in the same light as men. You know, I mean, it's like that. Even in music, you know what I'm saying? Like, some women may say it's hard as a woman to get in the music industry and because it's a male-dominated industry, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you've had very successful female artists. You know, now y'all have Cardi B, you've had Nicki Minaj, you've had Lauryn Hill, you've had Eve, Queen Latifah, and these are people who, you know, MC Light, these are women, you know, who
went on to do big things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And didn't let anything stop them from reaching the heights that they wanted to reach within a male-dominant industry. So it's not. I think sometimes women may use certain excuses, you know, to justify certain actions, but it's just all in realizing the power that you possess to get the things that you want. No, it's not gonna always be easy, but nothing is easy in life. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is easy. We all got it hard, no matter how you look at it.
Tribulations.
Yes, we all got it hard, no matter how you look at it and where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy, especially if you ain't born with a silver spoon and platter on your table, then yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get some female callers and see what's their input out into it or outlook into it as far as does women have power. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, y'all still got time. Y'all can chime in, call us up 347-989-8448. You know?
Yes, yeah. So I mean, it's women, y'all are very powerful, you know, and I suggest to stay, you know, searching for that power and come together and band it together with other women and pass it on and let these younger women know that there's other ways to display your
womanhood or your empowerment.
Yeah, it's a lot more ways, man. It's a lot more ways than just being a stripper or, you know, selling yourself or whatever.
Some women like stripping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I mean, that's what you want to do.
Society say they can do better.
Yeah, you can do better. And if that's what you choose to do, don't complain about not being in a certain position or being looked at derogative or, you know what I'm saying, or being belittled or demeaned because this is something you chose. You know, like you said, there's women out there who got single women who got 2, 3 kids, 4 kids, got a job, 2 jobs, and still go to school.
Still doing it.
You know, and to show another, to talk about power, is actually more women out here with degrees than men are. You know what I'm saying? So that's power in itself.
And that's facts. That's statistics right there.
That's power in itself. You know, like y'all got the fortitude to still go to school and still make it happen and get
Masters, PhDs,
1, 2, 3
like
degrees. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing in itself. You know, and then what you do with that afterwards and how you choose to go about, you know, where else you want to go in life with that. It all, you know, boils down to, you know, how you use that power that you possess. And everything is possible of reaching. You just gotta go forward and not let the hurdles and obstacles stop you.
There's 2 words that I use. You gotta have ambition and initiative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ambition and initiative.
Those have 2 completely different meanings.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the same. It's definitely not the same, you know. It's definitely not the same, for real.
Like you said, or like we mentioned earlier, everybody got choices.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Definitely do, man. You know. So, you
But
know.
sometimes it might just be the choices that a person made to put them in a good or a bad position, you know what I'm saying? Or situation, you know?
Yeah, that's true, that's true. We're about to wrap it up soon. If there's any ladies listening and want to call in and chime in real quick on that, women having power, and how y'all feel about that. You know,
Yeah, I'm surprised the ladies didn't want to come in and, you know.
Yeah, for real. Not on that, huh? But you know, it's cool. Yeah,
Some of them might be shy. Y'all might be
you
powerful,
gotta
but she might be shy, you know?
You gotta be scared because there's two male hosts up here talking. You know,
Host.
Host, yeah.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
2 male hosts. I didn't say
okay.
host. 2 male hosts up here talking, you know, about these things and women having power. It's all good, you know, we'll be open-minded, you know, about it. But, yeah, man, what we got coming up soon, COOKOFF? What's next?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got, you know, a few more, we got a couple of episodes coming down the pipeline. Talk about Black Friday and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We talk about different current events and how does a woman recognize her king, and what would it take or what does it take to keep him, you know, and different things like that coming down the pipeline.
Okay. That's what's up. For those of you listening, you know, yeah, but definitely want y'all to stay tuned and be abrupt to the topics that's coming up soon. You know, you definitely don't want to miss out on the Thanksgiving and Black Friday special, and also women, like you said, y'all don't want to miss out on hearing from two men, 2 kings. You know how to recognize your king and how to keep him. What does it take to keep him? That's something for women to tune into, for those women who are listening.
Right, because I see a lot of people getting married, but I see a lot more that's getting divorced.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, those gonna be cool. And if it's your first time listening, you know, definitely continue to listen. You can find us on Facebook at Rich Already Podcast. You can go and look at the videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Rich Already Podcast. You know, you can do what you're doing now while you're driving, whatever you're doing, driving, cleaning,
Getting off of work,
whatever.
going shopping.
Tune into Blog Talk Radio, you know, blogtalkradio.com/Rich Already Podcast. You know, we appreciate both callers calling in and giving their opinions and
their insight on the thoughts on the topics, basic bullet points of discussion.
Definitely appreciate that love. Also, I didn't mention you could catch us on Instagram, Rich Already Podcast. Leave your comments, your quotes, you know, thoughts, opinions. You know, let us know what y'all think about the show. You know, we've been going on 9 weeks strong now. Got a lot of good feedback, and we'd like to hear some more, whether it's positive or negative, how we could better our show and our craft and what we're doing, and maybe some topics that y'all want to want us to talk about and discuss on the show that y'all, want some insight on from us or whatever. So
yeah, so if you choose to hit us up on different topics that you might have in mind, or you want to sponsorship, we're looking for sponsorships, you can hit us up at richalready2@gmail.com for that.
Definitely. Yeah, for real,
Also, if y'all gonna be in the Atlanta area at the World Congress Center downtown Atlanta, that's the Atlanta Expo, Women's Expo going on. So ladies, y'all listening, y'all in the Atlanta area, y'all can come down there, come shop. You come to our booth. We got a booth out there. You come, take pictures, be on the IG, Instagram, or social media with us. We like to relate to the other people when we meet and greet as well.
Definitely.
So that's what we're doing here. This weekend, actually, Saturday and Sunday.
Tomorrow and Sunday. We'll be there both days, definitely.
Atlanta, Georgia World Congress Center, downtown Atlanta.
Definitely, like you said, the Georgia World Conference Center tomorrow, Sunday, the Women's Expo. We come to our booth 146. Body therapy by George. Come get your chair massages.
Chair massage,
get some
t-shirts,
get some t-shirts, some
snacks, snacks.
Some good conversation. We're gonna be running the podcast tomorrow too, down there as well. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can come in and talk on the mic, join the conversation, and
take your pictures, selfies, everything like that. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. It's gonna be a good turnout,
It's a live on set, special edition tomorrow, because we usually do just every Friday, And for those who are new, every Friday we on, but tomorrow we're doing a little special edition just for the Women's Expo at the Georgia World Conference.
Georgia World Conference. And see, ironically, it fall right into play. Because this is how much we care about y'all women out there, Because your listeners and your comments, we all concerned about it, and we like to hear more. So, on top of that, we have the other bullet point of all women, powerful, and how much power do they have? Well, that shows it right there. That's a whole women's expo right there.
We're gonna ask some women that too tomorrow and get their views on and thoughts on that too. I'm gonna make sure I ask some women that give them a chance to shine and be engaged with the show. So we definitely want y'all to stay tuned and stay engaged and keep showing y'all love. Keep following us on IG, on Facebook. Definitely go and once again subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch some of our previous episodes to get familiar with us and become a part of the Rich Already family, and everything like that. I'm RDOTT. You can find me on Instagram at r.com. That's RDOTT with 2 T's, r.com, KOM, RDOTT, KOM. I'm on there. You can find me on Facebook too at RDOTT. COOKOFF, what's up?
Yeah, I'm COOKOFF on Instagram. You can find me at COOKOFF718, and at Twitter you can find me at The Real COOKOFF.
Okay.
In the meantime, like we said before, this is Rich Already Podcast. Tell a friend, Sean, man, we here. Stay rich. Salute.
Already podcast, man. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Already. We rich, stay rich, stay rich, stay rich. Already. Get rich, stay rich, we rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Already. We rich, stay rich, stay rich, stay rich. Already. Get rich, stay rich, we rich, stay rich. Already. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. And yo, we rich already, not just meaning in wealth or monetary value. I'm talking about health. Mind, body, and spirit, it's time to get with it. Stop thinking so simple and think about our principles. Start with our mental, use the eye in our central vessel of the brain. That's how we change things. It's time to spread our wings and soar like some eagles. This podcast is here to bring awareness to the people. RICHALREADY. Enjoy the topics each week. Enlightenment we speak, giving it to you raw. Nothing but opinions, no alternative facts. We here to break barriers with positive impact. Recognize the real, comical yet instill powerful words of wisdom that everyone can feel. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Ready. We rich, stay rich, stay rich, stay rich. Ready. Get rich, stay rich, be rich, stay rich. Ready. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Ready. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Ready. We rich, stay rich, stay rich, stay rich. Ready. Get rich, stay rich, be rich, stay rich. Ready. I'm rich, he rich, she rich, stay rich. Ready.